all European Union, Eastern European region business units. Let's start to our Motivation 3.0 journey. Dears, when we look at the motivation one, we could easily describe as this is the uh, life itself. What does life itself means? Maybe before pandemic, we never recognize, we never feel the motivation 1.0 in our daily lives. Why? We don't have any problems regarding drink a potable water, clean water, and we don't have any issues to find food. All of us as a Pfizer employee lives in a very comfortable apartments. We don't have any hassles regarding healthcare systems. Why? We are Pfizer employee. Most of us has social security guarantee. All hospitals are waiting us. But normally the motivation 1.0 is still valid on earth. Why? If you're a Syrian refugee now, that is the problem, that finding a potable water is the one of your motivation. Or if you live in Africa, finding a good food for our dinner table, it will be the best motivation for that day. Nowadays, we are never feel the being hungry because of lack of food. Maybe because of your Monday diet, you become very hungry, or Thursday. You never feel that kind of motivational fix in our daily life. What we are mostly seeing, the motivation 2.0, prizes and penalties. Today's business world and today's daily life works mostly on motivation 2.0. When it came to the scene in 18th century, at the end of the 60s, after the industrial revolution one, which is the, as you know, from the United Kingdoms, basically center of the London, the coal mines started to produce steam power, and the industrialization is first kicked off almost 300 to 400 years ago from now. They first started to give prizes and the penalties. What is the first prize for business life? Actually, when the first era time in the London, the people who were collecting daily 35 kilograms of the coal mine, their daily target is collecting 35 kilograms of coal. Then the coal mine owners, they find that that could be improvable, but the people are not very want to improve their productivity. Same salary, but why they need to improve? So they put 15% increase their salaries to collect 50 kilograms of coal. When the 50 kilograms is the usual, they increase it to 75 kilograms. And at the end of the 35 years in the London mines, 35 years, could you guess how many kilograms is the one person needs to collect from a coal daily? How many kilograms? They started from the 35. They started from the 35 with the prizes, with the salary bonuses. They increased 35 to, guess, is there any guess? Daily, 35 kilograms into, with the help of industrialization, yes, the 500 kilograms per day is started to be their daily KPI for the coal miners. But that system has some problems. Collecting 500 kilograms per day, one side effect on workers' life. Do you know what is the side effect? After 6 to 7 months later, if somebody started to collect consecutively record 500 kilometers per day, 7 months the average of the living time in that coal mine. They are going to die, dears. So because of the workers are dying, the coal mine owners are understand that they have to give one more price too. What was it? If you collect 3 tons per week, 3 tons, you will get 1 day off. So Sunday is a church day given as a prize, dears, to us 300 years ago by coal miner owners. That's so strange. If we collect 3 tons consecutively days, you will get 1 day off on Sundays. Also, at that moment, people were working not 7 days, not 6 days consecutively. They work every day. No breakouts, no weekends. The first weekend coming to the place as a church day, the Sunday. Before there were no working free days. And also for the time wise, today we are working 45 hours. Depends on your country, but average of the world is around 45 hours a week. Turkey is the same place. I know that some Europe countries is 40 hours or something else. That is also given as a prize of FOMOCO. Do you know who is FOMOCO? Is it which country's brand is the FOMOCO? Is it Japanese brand? Do you know which company is it? Thanks to Ford Motor Company in United States, what the Henry Ford is founded the Model T and the continuous production, the Ford type production. The first thing he recognized that if the workers are working 16 hours a day and just going to their home for sleep and return back to business, they are not effective. They found that the people's first 9 hours were effective. So they decrease into 5 days a week, which increase one more price days and decrease the working hours from 16 hours to 9 hours. So 45 working hours plus 2 weekends comes with the FOMOCO company, Ford Motor Company's vision. Thanks to them. The penalty sides, thanks God, Pfizer, it's not like a place that if you couldn't finish that job, I'll fire you. So firing from the business, it is the most common penalty. But there is a huge problems appears in that section. There's the motivation regarding 2.0 price and penalty for the business life. It is not goes well in 2020. So we have to update these. Please check yourself. If I offer doubling your salary and asking double the business you are providing, maybe you will accept that challenge. But after a couple years, that double your salary and the double your work outcome will be your normal. If I offer, please double it again, most probably you couldn't double that business. So price and the penalty not goes well in 2020. Something different we need to motivate our people. There is one book called Drive from the Daniel Pinks. You may watch his TED video. It's a little bit old one from 2003, but still I'm sorry, 2013. He says that from his book, we have to divide the motivation into two. Motivation is X, refers for the motivation, extrinsic motivation. Motivation X for the extrinsic motivation, and motivation I for intrinsic motivation. Do you know what does motivation X and motivation I, what is the meaning for you? What is the motivation X and motivation I? How we can divide into two in the real life terms? What is extrinsic motivation. Do you have any comments for that place? What is motivation? Extrinsic motivation.
It's coming from external factors, like
Yeah.
the budget that you were suggesting. Yeah.
External factors like a budget. Good. Anything else?
Wife and children are a good internal motivation.
Children is external motivation. Okay, let me write here. We will
In the middle,
discuss.
okay.
I would like to talk about this one. Anything else from outside? Outside, okay. What about the in-string motivation? What do you understand from the in-string motivation? Recognition. For the in-string, Elif, recognition. X-string, okay. Recognition of what kind of recognitions? Just giving some stars or the likes. There's
colleagues recognize you, and it's an external motivation for you. I mean, it's not coming inside, but it's coming outside.
Okay, I write
exactly.
it here.
Yes, I would say that instinct would be something that we are the source of that motivation. So it's in our own.
Source on. There's I could, based on the book, what he says, there's mostly, yes, you are right, source on. The motivation, instinct motivation from your inner sound with the emotional things, emotional and the purpose things, emotional and the purpose things. Mostly they are 90% emotions, dears, 90%, not all of them, but the 10%, oops, I don't know what happened to my mouse today. 90% of these are emotions, and 10% is some tangible things. In other terms, right, 90% is emotion, 10% is technical things. Means intangible things, tangible things, like our emotions, purpose. For the children example, what I write here, children. Dear, if you have a children, because of the work power of them for future, for making money from them, yes, we can count for the extrinsic motivation, but the children's are, we count this as an intrinsic motivation. What it is, it's the continuity of your surname. It is the some emotions, making a good man, making a good woman, develop them by your hand for the world. Or what is the main reason behind you are having kids? They are focusing on your intrinsic motivation. Why? Because of, if they are an extrinsic motivation, the world's most unproductive investment is the children itself. You are investing a lot, but you are nothing receiving for the tangible things. For the motivation X, we can say that 90% the things is tangible, and the 10% of will be intangible. Yes, most of they comes from the outside, which the control of the motivation is very few. Recognitions could be counted as a extrinsic motivation. For instance, the above and beyond Call of Duty prizes, or if you do some good things inside the Pfizer, receiving $100 from your manager, we can count that as like the $100 itself will be your extrinsic motivation. Please compare your salary with that $100, and please compare your minutes of hours of you work for that project, maybe 2 months, and at the end of the 2 months, you are receiving $100 paycheck, which means from the tangible wise, from the money wise, is nothing. The $100 is the extrinsic motivation, but the ABCD price, the above and beyond call of that mail with your manager is sharing within the whole company, within the whole country, is intrinsic motivation. You feel honored, you feel valuable. So extrinsic side is the outside comes, mostly tangible, like countable things. The intrinsic side, mostly emotional, intangible things like purpose and the emotions. So in 2007, Robin Rackwitz, he is a professor in now, he first published a paper that the paper name is Motivational Design. Dears, the first time he proved that based on some characteristics, we can design our motivation and the others' motivation based on the inputs. So after him, in 2010, Daniel Pink published the dry book, How to Get Motivated, How to Be Motivated. That I put the Turkish version. You may find it's very well-known book. There's lots of copies on the internet. I highly recommend that if you want to understand what is the motivation is coming from the design wise, he explained very well. So just I would like to briefly recap the book itself. The motivation one, the intrinsic motivation, has 3 pillars. The first pillar is autonomy. Dears, when I ask you, what is autonomy? What it's come to you? What does autonomy means? Is it like freedom? Freedom? Or being free or something different? What is autonomy comes to you? Being independent? Autonomy, autonomous. What does it mean? Abilities, yes, dears, it is a little bit different than freedom and being free. Autonomy, it is being independent under control. Oops. Being independent under control, what does it mean? For instance, if we all working in Pfizer, yes, like today, if we all free, if we all independent, it does not motivate us. Mostly we are seeing that problem in small and medium-sized companies. Most of the people are working for one company, but they don't know what to do, how to do, where to do. So think that there is no departments inside the Pfizer, and all of us being paid by Pfizer in our payrolls every day, paying to our bank accounts, but you don't know what to do. Do you get motivated for that kind of job? Think that I am not a training manager. I am a just employee. I am a just one of the person delivers something. Every day I'm going to business, but I don't know what to do. It's so complicated. It's like a United States. As you know, all states have different rules, different understandings, but on the top, they are one country. Under the Washington, D.C., all of them is autonomous states. You can understand like this. If you belong to one family, think that inside the family, you don't know who is responsible what. It is not motivate us there. So autonomy is a freedom under control. We allow some control over us. So the second thing is mastery, being a master in places. So every day we would like to start and deep into as much as possible for our topics and the subjects. If the 2 days is the equal, we are not get motivated from these days. So every day we are seeking to development, we are seeking to improvement in any different topics. All these tip 1 things applicable for business life, and the private life. So how we see the mastery, for instance, easy example, having your girlfriend first, dating for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, which is always the being a mastery. Then you are get engaged, being a fiancé, then marriage, another mastery. After marriage, having kids, another mastery. After the kids going to school, another mastery. So every day inside our relationship, we would like to being a master. Where is the mastery? Being a grandfather and taking of grandsons and granddaughters. So this is the example from the private life. How we see for the business life, most of us, after the graduation from our universities, we started as junior specialist, right? After a couple years, we become specialist. Then we make it maybe senior specialist, then executive, senior executive, junior manager, manager, senior manager, junior director, or uh, group director. So always we are seeking mastery. High school, bachelor's, master degree, PhD degree. If we always are, one of the motivators trying to being a master. How we see that business to unmotivated people, you may heard these kind of sentence from your friends. Even we couldn't find these kind of things in Pfizer. I couldn't improve myself. Every day is the same. I don't like my business. I don't like my company. Yes, because of that kind of tip one. The last thing is the purpose of what you are doing from the tip one. The purpose, as you know from the Pfizer now, it's huge importance. What is the purpose of your work? What is the purpose of your marriage? What is the purpose of your friendship? If you couldn't the purpose, you started to unmotivated. You will lose your motivation. The one thing, if you started to lose one of these, you are not demotivated from that subject. You are losing your motivation, not demotivated. Demotivated is completely different thing. It's like a minus version of the motivation. You will give a harm, you will block or even demolish the things if you demotivated. But losing your motivation could be go to the demotivation. So what is the purpose of working in Pfizer? Yes, our company works on these nowadays. Why? They understand that working for only increase the sales and hit the more market share does not connect our people to the company. If they are working for only money or the market share, sales KPIs, they will find other companies because of lack of purpose. So three of them is huge importance. Please check yourself in any kind of subject. If you are not motivated to your gym, if you couldn't go to your gym, please check which has problem. Couldn't you being a mastery of that gym? Or is it so far? Or you couldn't find a parking space? You couldn't feel yourself autonomous in this gym? What is the main problem you couldn't get motivated? Please check your relationship. Think that one of your best friends and your relation is not goes well, you don't want to call him anymore. Check what is the problem. You couldn't find a purpose of that relation. You may ask that, Engin, what kind of a purpose in the friendship? Yes, some friendships has a bondless, concrete relationship. That is the purpose. If you couldn't, if your relation is not reliable on the hardest moment, if you couldn't see her, most probably you will lose the purpose of that relationship. So the next, in 2011, Gabe Zicherman published first time the paper in history name called gamification. That is very famous now, the gamification in 2020, but the history is from the 2011. Easily, if I want to explain, gamification is not a game. So understanding the game techniques, understand the techniques of the games are using in their play, why we are spending hours and hours in Candy Crush. So we couldn't understand why we spend too much time on these things. If we able to use that techniques in our daily life, is it possible to motivate people like games? That is the paper is about. So the final thing from the Dr. Michael Wu in 2015, he published in MIT again behavioral engineering paper. Oops, behavioral engineering. We know that behavior is a social thing, right? There is no 0 and 1. So this is gray. So behaviors are gray, but the engineers are very techniques. So it is 0 and 1, right? So this is analytic. How they mixed behavioral engineering. There's maybe you may remember in 2016, President Trump is elected as a president of the United States. At that moment, there is a huge discussions over the internet. The Facebook sold our data, not ours actually, the Americans sold our data to the campaign designers of the Trump. They worked as engineers, and the Facebook Analytica or one of the company, I couldn't remember the name, but what they proved that within the 7 likes of your Instagram pictures, artificial intelligence with machine learning and using big data, they know yourself better than your friends, better than with only 7 likes of your pictures. With the 15 likes, they know you better than your close friends. Look, with only 15 picture likes, based on the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the big data, they know you better than your close friends. So how do they use that behavioral engineering? Think that you are a person that against war. So they showed you the campaign of the I'll return back all my troops from Iraq campaign materials. Maybe you are a conservative person, so they show you America great again advertisement. In the Trump's campaign, they proved that 600 different advertisements categorized based on that 15 likes. So the success rate came from here. Today, we can motivate people with the help of big data, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. But it is not enough, dears. In 2016, the gamification consultant Andrei Marchevsky, which we are going to in a couple minutes his website, in 2016, he explained that, okay, dears, from the Pink's book, autonomy, mastery, and purpose has to be in place for our motivation. But it is not enough. Today's world, if you have 3 of them, maybe you will see that you are not still motivated at that subject. Why? The last thing is appeared main as like a roof. Everything on top is relatedness. Dears, if the topics are not related with you, you couldn't motivate from all of these maybe in your hand about that subject. How I can give an example? For instance, if Pfizer, you all work in different countries, right? If the Pfizer says that in 2020 bonus packs, you will receive that think your position. Most of us working very autonomous. We have our budget. We all do masters in our pharmaceutical industry, and Pfizer provides very good opportunities for develop ourselves. And the purpose of our job, the best thing on earth, cure the people, breakthrough, change for the impacts on patient lives, right? Everything is our hand. We are very motivated. Maybe if the Pfizer CEO says that in 2020, Venezuela KPI, if they hit the 100%, I'm just exaggerate of the topic, you will get your bonus. Is it related to our topic? So if you work for today BFG, and if somebody says that if Upjohn and Milan acquisition will be held in June, you will get your bonus. We may ask, what is the relatedness between Upjohn and Milan acquisition and my salary bonus package? It is the case. So we will directly lose our motivation because it is on the top. We even don't look to others. What is the purpose? We are directly get demotivated from the subject. So another example from daily life. Dears, maybe you had, let's think about, you have 7 or 8 years old daughter, okay? She has one very beautiful pink bedroom, so she is very autonomous. And you would like to give some responsibility for her life. So tidying her room every day could be as an achiever, giving some mastery about how to collect. And the purpose of the tidying her room is being clean, being healthy. Everything is very nice. If you say that, Engin, hey, dear my daughter, I'll give your iPad if you tidy your room, most probably you couldn't get motivate your daughter. Why? There is no relationship between iPad and the tidying room. What is the correct correlation between iPad usage, iPad play, with the tidying room? It's completely different. And most of the daughters, if they are 10 years old, will reply back to you. Hey, mom, hey, father, what is the relation between iPad and I don't want to tidy my room, but I want to play with iPad. So if you have connected related with the iPad and the tidying room, how could you motivate the tidying your room with the getting the iPad? Maybe if you save the iPad inside the room in somewhere, and if she able to find the iPad, if they tidy the room, as a price of the tidiness, they will get their iPads on their hands, right? But if they find directly the iPad before tidying the room, you couldn't say anything. Why? This is related to the motivation. So please check in-string motivation ramp. If you have a lack of motivation, and if the partners, if your colleagues have lack of motivation, please check what is the problem. Jay McGonigal, also one of the famous person in the gamification world, says the opposite of play is not working. It is depression. We know what the depression means from our lustral, right? Lustral. It is ancient Greek word that shoulders down. Being down means depression. I couldn't remember from the training, the detailing training, but depression is being down. So the opposite of play is not working, it is depression. We would like to create a working place like a play. Or be jealous about Google's workplace, right? Why? They're so engaged, very different. If we successfully place the play with working, we will be very successful. Game is very old in history. This is the one game like 5,000 years ago. It plays with the leg of the cows. So you are throwing as a to the as far as possible, and hit is like upside, always up. If you get, you will get points. Then we translate it into dice from Persian, which I like to play backgammon, and I play twice a week at least. But if you are not familiar with this, most probably you will play PlayStation 4 nowadays. So maybe the change of the game is differs, but we find something in every age of human history. We like to play games. I would like to give examples. There's you collected that fake tomatoes, virtual tomatoes, 10 years ago. That's a Farmville play. 3 a.m. in the morning, and sold these tomato in the bazaar and put your other vegetables to your field, your farm, and try to compete all of our other friends. Yes, you played. I played that game. The question is, when you woke up in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning for Pfizer, how many times? You work couple hours, and then you successfully try to beat everybody. Never ever 3 a.m. in the morning. Maybe once, maybe. I'm not sure for the business wise. Maybe if you work in a production or the warehouse, maybe. What is this? This is a swarm. The very well-known brand is Foursquare. When they first introduced around 10 years ago, we were very pleasure to check in every places. I am at home, I am at school, I am at company, I am at shopping center. How crazy it is. I am in this restaurant, how crazy it is. But being a mayor of that inside that application gives you some acceptance. You are not the mayor of your city, but you are the mayor of the corner Starbucks next to your apartment, right? So by the help of our instinct motivation, the gamification, they collected all the points on Earth, point of interest by free. They know which restaurants are the best, where is the heat maps of the city, and they collected all the data regarding schools, hospitals, important points. Now, Google Maps use the Foursquare's metadata. That is the reason you are finding everything on Google Maps. But it's not always digital. We have some example for the physical life. For instance, that is from the Belgium. This is the elevator, right? But the metro put some piano keys, and while you are standing up, piano plays like Mozart or Cohen, other plays. Why they gamify the stairs to the elevator to the stairs? What is the main reason why governments and the places are trying to move from here to here? Health? Health? Question mark? Obese? Fight with obese? What is the truth I would like to share with you? Dears, when the train sets come to the station, depends on the station, but I asked the Istanbul Metro manager, maintenance managers, 800 people leave the cars, okay? And the capacity mostly of these elevators is 100 people per minute. 100 people with 70 kilograms on average makes 7 tons. And for 7 tons of elevating the 7 tons for almost 9 minutes makes huge electricity bills. And the maintenance cost of these products is really high. Mostly you see in the shopping centers, they are fixing very common. You see Tyson Coop or other famous brands. And the doctors also divide into two. I lost my health 2 years ago. I had a terrible traffic accident and there is a piloting now on my knee. My doctor is highly advised that Engin never go stairs up. You have to use always elevator. I ask why. The stairs up is not in our evolution. So in the nature, you couldn't find any stairs. Our body is not good for stairs up. It is very harmful for your knees. Half of the doctors says that please don't run. It is not good for your body. It's like something else. Half of the doctors says it is bad. Half of the doctors it could be good. But the reality is moving from to here, not for health. A good example from Turkey. Here's all we know the gym. Could you burn 1 calorie in one step? Is it possible to burn 1 calorie? I'll say no. But they gamified. Even I used that stairs. At the top of the stairs, there was 50 calories you burned sign. I said, wow, what a nice. I feel very emotionally improved. I used always the stairs to burn 50 fake calories. Why? The capacity of that metro system I experienced, even you couldn't stand two people next to each other. It is one people stairs. They try to move people stairs because it is zero cost. Another example from Holland, that is the school zone. As you see, mostly school zones are 30 kilometers, the speed limit. So the lotto of that county announced that if you drive slower than 20 kilometers from the school place, we will pick your camera, your plate number. At the end of each month, we will give 5,000 euros to you. You play the chips in our lotto. Wow, what a nice, huh? 5,000 euro for casino if you drive slowly. One other example from Germany is a physical one. They investigated that. You know, Germany is famous with their population is very diverse. Berlin is the most crowded place. Almost 2 million only lives there. If you think Istanbul is 18 million people lives in one city. So in Germany, villages are very common. They find that the mostly deadly traffic accidents in the traffic lights places and the very rare moments of the villages. So why? People not wanted to wait the red light. There is no cars, so they don't want to wait for nothing. They started to pass the walk roads. Then the cars are hit them. They find a one pinball game. So like our very old computers, the amount of the red light you experience here, when it's over, you finished. And also the other side is a real human. If you find a person, you play against him or her. If you couldn't find, you can against with the computer. While you are waiting, you understand that the red light is going to be over soon. So they gamified the red light. The last thing from 1973. Most probably you ever heard the Amsterdam's famous airport is the Schiphol Airport. Amsterdam Schiphol is a connection hub for all the Europe if you are trying to fly cheaply to States. I also had connection flight in Amsterdam Schiphol. But in 1973, Rotterdam Erasmus University published a paper, Behavioral Change by Emotional Targets. The name of the paper is something like that. The first time in 1973, they investigated the men's room and the women's room, men's restroom and the women's restroom. The men's side needs 11 people to clean, and the ladies' side has only needs 7 cleaning ladies. So they first look at the men's ladies can able to clean more surface, more productive. The answer is no. It is because of the human nature. That is the first physical gamification in history, and it has a paper regarding that fly. This is the pissoir from the men's room. So men's are peeing to that place, but because of the miss angles, it is scratched the ammonium, scratched the outside of that pissoir. And ammonium gives the smell of pee. So all the surface, all the tiles, ceramic tiles, when the ammonium NH3, ammonium, when they stick to the walls, after the water evaporates inside, it gives the smells of the restrooms. So they put that fly, and the men start to target it, this one, to clean here that fly. So that is the optimum angle. It cancels the drops outside and gives the cleanness of the restrooms. They decrease the men's room from 11 cleaning men into 6 cleaning person. So that is the first proof of the emotional designs, motivation design help to people. I could say that from the Niels van der Linden, gamification is an approach that solves real-life motivational problems by targeting game design techniques and long-term behavioral change in participants. So we will use the motivation design as a gamification for our in-string motivation, dears. The gamification probably more like 75% psychology and 25% technology. And Zümrüt, please mute yourself. You come now. I'll appreciate it. Thank you so much. Dears, I want to have a break at that point for 15 minutes. Please type gamification UK user type test, or I'm going to share the link from WebEx now. Just a second. User type test gamified. Could you mute yourself, please? Dears, please fill that test. At the end of the test, you may receive one map. Please take a snapshot of that map. Also, you may see that your strongest type is philanthropist. You show XYZ traits, this kind of things. Please take its screenshot, and I'm coming in 9 minutes. Sorry, thank you, Özdemir Selçuk, Sara Vayna, no sound, thank you. Somebody's mute everybody, and I also mute myself. Dears, at the end of the test, you may see that your strongest types and your traits. If you see that your points are very close to each other, like percentage, 21%, 2019, please don't look at this. The upside is important for us. And also, please use same test again with slower and try to give more points for the directions. If you give all of them 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, what the test shows you, you are 0. So let's see, what does it mean? What? We divide people into 6 different motivational pillars. Starts from like a philanthropist, this seeks for purpose, disruptor, seeks for change, free spirits, seeks for autonomy, achievers, most of the Pfizers are here, looks for mastery, and players are customer-facing colleagues mostly in here. They seek for reward, and socializer people seeks for relatedness. So we have 6 different types, and 6 of them differs to each other. Let me describe you who likes what and give some examples from real life. Peers, If one of your friends and or you, if you are free spirit person, you will seek always for autonomy. Just a second, John Vanek, could you mute yourself, please? Thank you. Free spirit, you are seeking autonomy, your major, your core motivator. And also they like to be easy fun. Exploration tasks will be best for them. Branching choices. Dears, please never never ask only one choice for a free spirit person. Please ask that. I have this one and that one. Which one do you prefer? They will be motivated at the end of the day. If you, for instance, this is more valuable for him, productive, more profitable, but if you directly ask to do this one, they couldn't motivate that business. Show this and also that one. So if they could able to choose one, they will be, I'm motivated enough. That is the secrets of them. Creativity tools, customization. Here I have one agenda. Here is my agenda. My name is on top, and company gives 80 of them, 800 of them to the workers, employees, Pfizer Turkey. Printed my name on it. Why? They try to motivate some free spirit people. For me, it did not motivate me. Why? Because I'm a typical socializer person. Relatedness is really important, my core. I really like to be people fun. Do you know, for that pandemic time, I'm calling all my friends. Why? I miss them. It's my life. I have to be in connection with my people. So I like to be in the teams. Social network very important. Social status very important. Discovery is important. I hate competition, dears. If one of my friends are trying to compete with me, I don't want to be in the competition. Maybe I'm the more powerful when you compare, but I don't want to be beaten. I don't want to beat other people. That is the task for the socializer. And for me, I like to be as a socializer. I like to be with the people. Unfortunately, I want to give a break to mute you all. Why person not? Oops. If we are doing that surveys, not for ourselves, I'm not going to teach you about how to motivate yourself. Yes, it could be a good option, but try to understand the other people from their motivators. So if you seek with a philanthropist, their core is purpose. If there's a purpose, you can ask every kind of volunteer task from him. Serious fun. I never seen a person who is the philanthropist very deeply drunk. So fun also needs to be serious. They are seeking for meaning of their business, caretaking, access, collect and trade. Gifting, sharing. Look, if you are a philanthropist, maybe you don't like the agenda, you don't like to be notebook with your name. Why? You couldn't give notebook to others. Gifting and sharing is very valuable for them. And also, if you receive a gift from your philanthropist friend, and you know that gift also given as a gift to him, don't be count it's a rude thing. Why? Gifts are the most valuable thing for them, and actually in other terms, that philanthropist gives the most valuable thing in their life to another valuable person. Don't think that you found that as a gift and today you are giving me. Dears, achievers looks for the mastery, hard fun, challenges, certificates, new skills, levels progression, And do you remember the boss battles, the old era time? For instance, Mario, when you are in the last session, last part of the game, you want to save the princess, you have to beat with the dragon. Yes, the achievers are building the dams of world. If you see that 200 floors skyscraper, that is done by achievers. All of our medicines, our products, doing by medicines. So you may see the mostly inside the Pfizer achiever people. They are the people build the world. The hardest projects, they'll never give away. They'll go to the end. The challenge and the hard fun is their life. If you ask a very simple task from the achiever, most probably they'll never get motivated. And also you will receive a feedback that, are you giving that easy task to me? They will be unhappy. Let's see the disruptors. These disruptors is the seeking for change, innovation platforms. They like voting. Years. Why? Only the 4% of the human nature is disruptor. We are killing these disruptive people while they are in childhood. Think that inside our primary school, one of our friends are showing the finger, hey teacher, I want to express their ideas, very crazy, very weird, very different ones. These are the guys very innovative, but because of the social pressure, because of the bad looking on their life, they are underestimated and change their behavior by hardness of the people. And today, inside the 20 people, one meeting room, could you raise your hand and asking the simplest and the stupid question as stupid possible in Pfizer? No. If you ask that question, our social pressure will be kill you too. But only 4%, these are the people, if they see that this ship is sinking, they are saying this ship is sinking. They are creative thinkers, disruptive people, so they are very valuable. If you have one in your country, please put them in every project you are trying to do. They like to be changed. In the voting systems, they're able to show their decisions. Even one vote is counted. Maybe inside the big populations, you couldn't find them. It's the republic elections in all countries. There is a one major party and the other is the opposite party, right? 1 and 2, left-handed, right-handed. And also there is some other parties, very small. Most of them is the very conservative, real conservatives or real agnostics or like revolution supporters, but they can able to find 1,000 votes all around the country. Yes, they are the disruptors, dears. And for the players, rewards are important. Points, physical reward, prizes. Dear, if a person is a player, if you ask anything, if you are showing something to them to motivate them, they'll directly ask you that, okay, what I will gain at the end of this project, why we are doing this if we don't earn more money. It is not in my job task. So everything has to be within the life of the on top of the gain. So they have to be gain at the end of that motivation. It's a very simple to understand who are they. If your friends are familiar with the lottery, game of chance, most probably they are player constraints appears. So we use the subs gamification rewarding model to hit instinct motivation. Let me wait till my screen is come to that slide. Oops. Subs gamification rewarding model. There is the instinct motivation. Sorry for Turkish, it's left. Instinct motivation, and this is the cost. This is the paper from Gabe Zicherman from 2012. If you want to motivate people as like instinct motivation, which is value and with zero cost, please give them status. So senior, executive, director. But please do it with purpose, not for because of free. Give everybody a director title. Inside the games, we are using that status things. Every level you are gaining something. Then second, you may give access. Today, you receive the email. LinkedIn Learning is free for Pfizer people. Why? Bit to hit our instinct motivation, but the cost of like $20 per us, we started to pay for it. They give access. Then power. What is the power in our commercial world? It's sometimes headcount, it's sometimes budget. So yes, it started to be extra motivation. The cost is increased like $10,000 to $100 based on the headcount. And the last thing is the staff. Mostly is extra motivation. Cost of the staff is very high. It's actually money. Company car is a one motivator. For example, in subs gamification is like a staff. Dear, after 40 days, it's proven from the Harvard Medical School that psychology, the 40 days later, we don't recognize our company car as a reward for ourselves. We see the stuff as usual. And by the way, it is very critical that there is no emotions here. If you give a company car of Golf, comfort line with DSG, automatic transmission, everything is identical. But if you give another person same Golf, same comfort line with DSG, think that this is 5-inch LCD as an entertainment center. This is 6-inch LCD as an entertainment center. That guy will be say that, hey, I'm demotivated. Why? You give 6-inch LCD screen version of the Golf to my friend, and you give me a 5-screen-inch version. Dears, we give you Golf, automatic transmission, brand new 0-kilometer company car. Are you stuck into the 1-inch? Yes, they will stuck. If company gives everybody an iPhone, think that if it is 32 gigabytes and one of you, because of the lack of stocks or other, if they receive 64 gigabytes, all the people receive 32 gigabyte version of the iPhone will be demotivated from that subject because of one person. So stuff will be very, very risky. And I'm going to share that periodic table with you after the session. Not directly after the session. We need 1 day to collect all the participators from the Cisco WebEx. Dears, how it is going to be used? I have all of these periodic table elements cards. So if you are a free spirit person or your colleague is free spirit, you will see that how to motivate him. Please give exploration. I'm going to share my cards so you may find the exploration cards from here. Branding choice, how you give the branding choices, Easter eggs, unlockables. Think that one person is disruptive. Please use innovation platforms, use votings. Light touch, look, very important. If you force disruptors for something, you will directly lose them. They'll say, okay, I'm leaving. Bye-bye, I'm quitting. I'm resigning my contract off. So these grays are the general ones you may use for everybody. Others will be used by the characters. Depends on your motivational pillar. It's a very valuable moment for the pandemic time. Use these techniques with your family members. It's also very valuable to practice these things. How we can use motivation to change behavior? Here is the one equation from Stanford University, Persuasion B.G. Fogg. I already mentioned his name. Sorry, but do you see my screen now with the Stanford University version or periodic table version? When I check it, it's still in periodic table one. Could you tell me which periodic table? Okay, it's stuck there. Let me share my screen again. Yes, this is the basic explanation of how to change behavior, how to get motivate people. Behavior is equal to motivation plus ability and plus trigger. How they describe as the behavior model. This is the motivation. High motivation, low motivation. This is the ability. This is hard to take action, easy to take action. So if you use some triggers, some things, succeed is, which means easy to action and it gives lots of motivation. Oh, it's the best thing. But it is very hard to do and the motivation is very few. So people are not want to do these things. You have to try that side of our model. Oh, it's so complicated. Let me explain the easier. There's the ability. I'm waiting to change my screen. I don't know why my screen sharing is not appears on your side. Still shows the same thing. Ooh. My computer is started to be a little bit tired, I guess. Let me share my screen. Change. Ooh.
We see it.
You see now? The ability. Okay, thank you. Very nice. Yes, in other terms, I would like to show you, but I couldn't see my screen. This is the sunflower seeds, dears. It is very popular in most countries. I think Eastern Europe, our countries, also that is the very lovely thing for the summer nights with tea or coffee, or I prefer with cola, right? Sunflower seeds. This is the per kilogram, it's around $1 something, if it is not different. But on the right, that one is a sunflower seeds core itself. Why we are eating sunflowers? To get the core of sunflower seeds. But today it's not very expensive. It is around $2, which all of us affordable to get to buy sunflower seeds core. But we don't want to eat sunflower seeds core only with one punch. We like to be throw, and we can eat, as you see here, one pack of them. When we sit down for a beautiful summer night, we will eat 200 grams of sunflower seeds. This is so easy, and the motivation at the end is very low. This is so hard, the sunflower itself. If you visit the villages, you may find this sunflower hat. So you can put one inside, try to eat, but it's so smooth because it didn't it didn't cooked, I can say. It didn't ovened. So it's so smooth. The taste is not good because of no salt on it. So this is so hard to eat. And at the end, the motivation is very low. This is the optimum. So we are trying to hit for the motivational problems, not too hard and low motivated, not too easy and less motivated, high motivation. We seek both of them together. That is the reason for the ability, we say the sunflower seeds and the one pack of the cigarettes and the Windows phone. Instead of Windows phone, we are using the iOS. Both are the same thing. When you ask your smoker friends, I know all of the Pfizer's not smoke, why there is a 20 sticks inside one pack? Because of my ex business. Again, you couldn't see. I don't know what happened to my PC. It was everything very, very good. Then let me change here. Sorry, I changed my PC. Do you hear me now for the last time? Your PC, yes, thank you. My PC needs motivation. After 34 days, it couldn't continue to one day. I have to always restart my PC. It's blocked now, so I'm sharing my PowerPoint now. I need new computer, dear Seda, dear Elif, please send me a new computer. All my students couldn't watch my programs well. Okay. Yes, what is the ability? This is to be able to consume one pack, 200 grams of sunflower seeds. The same thing also for the Marlboro cigarettes. Why there's a 20 sticks inside? Normally we have to consume 14 sticks a day. Depends on the 8 minutes of smoking time. Every 45 minutes you will recur the smoking. But 20 is a number that not too hard to reach, not easy to follow. So it's the optimum time. When you ask somebody, they are going to smoke one pack a day. That comes from there. And also, all we are using iPhone or Android mobile phones. Even we never try to use Windows phone because it's so hard to use. At the end of the motivation is not good as the simpler ones. It comes from their dears. When you hit the motivation from 3 type, if you're able to do that one, if you know the motivation side, and if you have a wonderful trigger, you can change the consumers, your customers, your colleagues, your family members, yourself behavior. We called that one from the near L the hook explanation. So we are putting one trigger. That trigger is a sunflower seeds. It goes to action. It is chit. The systematic approach chit. And then variable reward. Some of the consumers sunflower seeds core is very tasty. Some of them not, but always differs. So when you get your reward, you are going to pick another sunflower seeds, and it started to be returned the same circles until 200 grams left. Another example for the hook theorem. Instagram triggers you. You have one notification. You are going to enter the system. You are opening the Instagram account. You receive your reward. You are more popular than yesterday. Why? You have one more subscribers, followers. And what you do? You are trying to look another investment, another picture to publish from Instagram or story you are publishing. Another trigger. 2 people liked you. Then it becomes reward investment, record investment. We say hook theorem. The motivation is the energy for the action. So you may improve the motivation in the last moments of we have 3 different motivational ones. You may seek pleasure or avoid pain, seek hope or avoid fear, seeking acceptance and avoiding rejection by B.G. Fox from Stanford University. Again, pleasure, hope, and acceptance, they can be increase the motivation. Some examples. Obama came to the present to use hope. Today, we are using also hope for the upcoming days to leave the pandemic. Avoiding fear for the helmets. Which one seems more stupid? Paralyzed person or who use helmet version? Budweiser shows the acceptance. This is the CEO of the company. This is the safety guard. This is the product manager. All of them is equal under Budweiser. Why? The best beer on earth is Budweiser. So it does not differ man to other man. Some people, some companies using seeking acceptance. And finally, dears, if you use the without enough frequency or motivational tools, the habit is formed within this hook theorem. So what is waiting you next? You will receive